Hi everyone, I'm back. My name is Sabrine Johnston. I am about to do my second makeup tutorial, and today I thought I would do kind of a smoky look for you. This is a very impromptu video. I was sitting here playing on my computer and this beautiful sunlight was coming in around sunset here. We're approaching here in West Palm. It's about 10 after 5. So you can see it's just fabulous light. So I'm like, okay, I just have to seize this moment and go for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a very similar approach to what we did before. We're going to prep the upper lid with just a little bit of color. Today I'm using Kat Von D's Poetica palette. Here we go. It's just a tiny little palette, and this is a nice one because you can carry it in your purse. And this one is a little bit different than the other one. It has a mirror that goes with it, and as you can see, several of the colors have gotten a lot of use because I love this one too. Okay, the first color I'm going to start out with is a very copper-toned shadow, and we're going to use that on the inside of the lid. Again, we're doing a super smoky nighttime look right now. So that's why I got a little flower in my hair, a little splash of color, and my beautiful fabulous earrings that my best buddy Scotty B got me. So again, we are going to use our little flat brush. I'm going to take this, we're just going to pat it in, and I'm going to apply it just to this inner part of the lid. And it's difficult for me to see on here, so I'm going to use just the makeup mirror on the palette. So easy. Again, we're just patting it into the lid. Let's get a little bit more concentration of color. So you can see I'm just doing the inner portion of the lid, like that. And we're going to go over and we're going to do the other side, just a little bit. So this will be a good timeline for you to see how quick some of these techniques are. Like I said, it's only 5 after 10. I'm seizing the moment here. Okay, there we go. You can see, just did the inner half to maybe 3/4. And then we're going to go back through with, again, the stippling brush that I love. This is my favorite brush for doing more of a cut crease sort of look. It's a little bit rounded on the bottom, and it's just fabulous for just really pushing the pigment into the skin so you can really get it to adhere and stick for a deeper concentration of color. Okay, and she has 2 dark colors on here. One of them is this really nice maroon sparkly color. Most of the palette is very sparkly, which is nice. I use it more for a nighttime approach in general. And then you can see she has one here that is it's not really a black, it's like a super dark brown, very dramatic, has a smoky feel to it. I'm trying to find the light here for you so you can see the hues of the shadows. And then she has 2 purples over here. This one is a little bit more muted. This one is very light purple. You would think it would come out darker, but it doesn't. But this one I actually use for daytime, as you can see. Okay, so we're going to go with more of the maroon tone. Again, we're going to stipple that in. And I'm going to do what I did before, but if you'll notice, I'm going to go up a little bit higher. Okay, let's get a little bit more pigment on there. Again, just stipple up like that. And again, like I told you in the last video, don't try and make it perfect. Stipple that up. And with this tutorial, we want to keep some of that smoky tone really away from the lid where you put that little bit of copper on. You know, we don't want to cover that copper up because as you open and shut your eye, you get this beautiful kind of like flick of color that's very pretty. And then we go over to the left eye and we are going to do the same. You can see. Again, not trying to make it perfect. And we're just going into that crease a little bit here. We're dipping down. And you can see, it's not perfect right now, but it doesn't have to be. I definitely have a little bit of asymmetry, not the end of the world. We're not going for perfection here at this stage. You can see this one looks cut in pretty good already. This one got a little smudge. Obviously this one needs to go in a little bit farther. So we're just going to take that in. We're just going to dip that down in. Because again, we don't need to make this perfect. We can clean it up later, and then, girl, you be snatched for the gods. Love it. Okay, now I usually like to go through like kind of midway to kind of like clean up certain areas so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to use her lightest one over here. This has just barely any shimmer to it. So we are going to go up in here. You see how that just magically kind of cleans all of that up for us. Bam! What a difference. But then you can see why we like to use angle brush that I'm going to use next, because you can see it's very dramatic. Looks like we're ready for the stage, but girl, we ain't going on the stage. Well, we might have to do a few cocktails, you never know. I could be coaxed into getting up on stage. Okay, oh, back to the makeup. Okay, so we're going to go over to this eye, and we're going to do the same. And so you can see here, I did have that major boo-boo right there. We're going to go back over. It's just under the brow. Bam. Racy, racy, racy. And it's gone. Here a little bit. I'll clean up, clean up, clean up. Oh, mommy, fabulous. Gotta love it. Coming together already. See? Yeah, we have the nice symmetry. Still, again, looks a little bit dramatic. Looks like there's a lot of contrast. So we're going to go back in with our angle brush. Here we go, like we used in the last video. And we're going to blend just gently. When I do this, I got asked a few questions. I don't use a lot of pressure when I use this brush. We're just going over gently to blend. Just to blend. Again, I'm trying to do a little bit of back and forth here with the mirror and with the camera, so you can kind of see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, let's go back through with the stipple brush a little bit on this side. You can see I had just a little bit of asymmetry. Okay, we're going to get a little bit more in the corner there. A little bit more. Okay. Now for a little bit more of a smoky eye, then what I did was I saved the darkest color for last. What we're going to do is we're going to take that, and again with a smaller kind of stipple brush, you can see that sunlight that's coming up. Ooh, oh my god, it's like Blair Witch. Ah! Okay. Anyhow, sorry. And then we go in, and we're going to go right in where the lid meets the brow bone. In that crease area. This is why it's called a cut crease, because we're cutting kind of a dark line to have this strong differentiation. So you really get that pop of a lid by the depth of a shadow and a smoky eye, but then again, you don't want too dark of a lid because that's going to close your eye in. The idea is to make your eyes like nice and open and bright, but still with that depth to look like a little naughty girl like that. Okay, so we're going to go in. And you can see here, we're going to go just right in that crease line with the darkest color. Again, this is almost like a black brown. And we're just going to kind of draw a line in there. And then we're going to come around and over on the top of the lid. Here, you can see I'm coming much farther in than the last look that I did. Really almost creating this little bit of a cat eye effect on the lid, you can see. and then head on. Again, this, I know it looks a mess, but we can clean that up later on. Okay, we're going to do our other eye really quick. We're going to close. And to show you how funny this is, I just kind of decided to do like a whole little carpe diem moment. I was about to get ready to go do some rollerblading, but this light was so gorgeous I was like, oh my god, I have to take advantage of this. So I am going to be rollerblading with the smokiest, most fabulous eye ever. The people are probably going to be like, what is that drag queen doing going down the sidewalk and rollerblades? But you know I'm going to be fierce, snatch for the gods. Okay, here we go. How's that looking? Okay, we're looking pretty symmetrical. Sometimes I like to lift up the brow and see what it looks like. And you can see that these outward corners really look a mess. So right now I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of clean those up before I go any further. Okay, last time I used the medium. Today I'm going to use the light just to give you a little bit of contrast and show you how different they look. Again, this is the Almay Smart shade. It's just a translucent powder. And you can see in this lighting, it's a little bit better for you guys. So you can see I do have these kind of dark circles under the eyes. But I find this just gives me enough coverage to kind of clean things up so I don't look like I'm at IHOP or Denny's and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Because nobody wants that look, boo. No, we want to look like we were snatched from the gods. Okay. I know. I'm going to have to do a video on all the jargon so you guys can understand what the hell is she talking about, snatched from the gods. Okay, that's a little drag queen talk, but we'll fill you in on that later in another video. Okay. Here we go. We're moving over to the other eye. Again, we're wanting to keep up with that angle. We're wanting to draw the eye up into a very cat eye effect. Very smoky, very tawdry, darling. Tawdry. Okay. Again, we're going to go down here. You want to take that little bit of lightness that you have down onto the top of the cheek. Because just like when they do photography, you know, a lot of times they take those light reflectors and they place them under people to make the light bounce up. So this is kind of what we're doing with the makeup here too. We're putting it, you can see the flat of my cheek here, the apple of the cheek, we call that the apple. You're wanting to put a little bit of light down there on the top of it so it helps reflect that light up into the eye, very much like a light reflector. Very simple. So once you know some of these basic principles, you know, and I always like to go down and get rid of a little bit of shine. Okay, again, this is a nighttime look. You know, we don't want to be so concerned about, like, oh, it's a little bit more dramatic. You know, when you're out at night, the lighting generally tends to be a little bit lower, stronger, so you need a little bit more pop of color. Okay, then we are going to go back through. Let me get, again, with the smaller stipple brush, and we're going to take that darker color and we're going to extend it under the eye here. Go in. This time we are going to go all the way in, girl. We are going to go all the way in because we want to smoke that eye up. But we want to keep it clean and crisp because, mommy, we want a smoky eye, but we do not want it to look like that caught on fire. Just smoky, just smolder, but not on fire, not like ash. Okay, so you can see what a pop that gives you with that lower smoky eye. And you want to make sure you have that balance. You can go back up here on the top a little bit. A little bit. Again, think about that you're drawing almost like a triangle in the corner here. So you can see how that's creating a nice smoky eye. We want to connect that a little bit. Here we go. Down, down, I'm going all the way across, okay, Very smoky, very dramatic, very dramatic. And let's see. Again, I like to do makeup techniques that are very easy for you, very quick. We're going to go back through with our, oh, and the sun came back out, so that's good. We can see what the heck we're doing a little bit here. We're going to go back through, we're going to kind of clean that up a little bit. And you can feather, sometimes I feather the brush up in that direction. Just to sometimes, we want that edge to be nice and crisp, but we don't want it to be like bam. So you can take the brush and kind of feather it back up like that. Okay, let's go back up here on the top. We're going to tweak that brow bone a little bit. Again, just to get that crispness in there. We've already kind of blended those shadows in, but just to kind of give us a little bit more pop under there. So you can see that's super easy, super easy. And again, we just check for symmetry, check for depth. You can see this one's a little bit darker here. So we're going to go back through, just give a little bit more pop of color. Just sometimes with the residue that's on the brush, you can do that, that's great. So you can see that helped balance it out a little bit. Okay, we are going to go now back with our blush. Right there, you just want to apply it in and down. We want to make sure that we don't wash out that little bit of lightness that we've created under the eye, and we don't want to look like whatever happened to Baby Jane either. Remember, girls, we go light with this blush. Light, mommy. We are not going to Ringling Brothers. No, no. Okay. That, I can see, go down a little bit. And then, like I said, I always go back through and kind of blend it here. You can see. I usually kind of blend it down from the top, because we don't want that really strong line. So you can see it's created a little bit of softness. This side is very strong, so you can see. Go back down, blending down from the top. You know, with makeup, we talk about hills and valleys. And that's how you want to think about things. We want to highlight the hills, and we want to create depth in the valleys. Obviously a valley, so we want to create a little bit of light on top, the depth down here. This is going to be a hill, the round of your lid, so we want to keep some brightness in there. Again, here's a valley inside, and then we want to keep a little bit of brightness here on top of that hill. That is the brow bone. Okay. Go through and just blend a little bit. Blend. Okay. And then we are going to finish up with a little bit of mascara. And we will do this very quickly because I am sure that you guys all know how to put on mascara. What I like to do is I do several coats of mascara. I take it down to the lash line, the base, and I scrub. Scrub it in, stroke out, like that. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. Oh, just gonna get in close to my eye. Here I come. Oh! Okay, so again, we're going into the lash, down at the base, and we're scrubbing it in there like that. And then we're painting up, then we're checking to make sure we don't have any clumpy lashes. Go through there. And sometimes what I like to do for kind of an interesting look to create a little bit more of a cat eye, while the mascara is wet, I will go in, scrub, like I did before, and then I'll brush the lashes over. You can see we're combing them over to the side, which creates this really interesting kind of angle. I like to do that. So it helps kind of emphasize that almost wing on the outer side. Let's see here if we can get this on camera. So you can see it creates even more of a wing, more of a cat eye. You can see the difference. Just regular lash, cat eye. Wow. Oh my God, why am I so silly today? Love it. Okay, we're going to go over again. This is our second coat. I usually do about 3. Sometimes if I'm going for a really dramatic smoky eye, I will go for 4. You just kind of go back and forth, or you can let them dry. Again, you can see while it's wet, you do this. You draw the lashes over. You're just drawing them. See, it gives that illusion of that really nice flicked winged lash. It almost gives you this feel of what false lashes would create, that beautiful kind of like cat eye, elongated. You can see. Very sassy. Love it. Okay, let's see here. I think we're looking good. And then what I'm going to follow up is with, I prefer glosses. It's very rare that I wear kind of like a flat lipstick or a stain or something like that. I have a preference for glosses. I just think they make the lips look more supple, fuller, moister, more inviting. Moisture, is that a word? I don't think so. Let's go with more moist, okay? And then after I get done with this, I think I'll do a little grammar lesson for myself. Okay, so this is CoverGirl. This is kind of like, it's kind of like a really, really deep fuchsia. And, oh, this one I think I can read. Oh my God, I gotta do this light more often. This one's called, oh, stop. Colorlicious. Call me Colorlicious. Move over, Fergalicious. I am in town. Okay, and it's number 690. Colorlicious. I think that's going to be my new stage name. Colorlicious. Okay. You can see here. This is just a nice shimmer of color without being too strong. The rule as a smoky eye is, if you do a really strong pop of color on the eye, a strong, smoky, dramatic eye, you want to play down your lips. And I really follow that look. Okay, here we go. I'll do another little application. So it's nice. You can do a really glossy kind of dewy lip, but you can do it in a very nude, simple, understated color with an eye that has just a pop. Or you can kind of switch the two up, do a really strong, dramatic red lip, which I personally think is beautiful for summer. Those gorgeous kind of orangey reds. They're just a fabulous summer color with just like a super simple, almost nude eye with some mascara, maybe a little liquid liner eye, and it's just gorgeous and so simple, classic and elegant. So here we go. We are done. What you guys think? You think we snatched from the gods? You think we're ready for a night out on the town? Okay, well, when Sparkly get home, I'll have to talk to him about that. I see my phone buzzing. I think my man on his way home. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great evening. Thanks for watching.